Yay, here we are, live again, and we're talking about this today. Yes, hard to believe for some people, maybe, but love does grow stronger after death. So stick around. You'll want to stay till the end because I'm going to do a special guided meditation to help those of you who want to connect to do so. And we love to do these meditations, exercises live with people, with especially in our academy, with our group, because when we're together, the energy is just stronger. Okay, that's just how it is. So you want to stick around and be with us live, or what you're watching it later, you'll still get the same benefit. Okay, because the truth is time is an illusion and everything happens right now. So if you're watching this later today, next week, next year, 2 years from now, it's still going to be the same because we're opening a door to the other side, and the other side is eternal, as are you and I. So we're going to talk about that today, about why it is that love actually does grow stronger. Okay, and it comes from understanding who we are. Because if you don't understand who you are and therefore who your loved one is who's passed away, that they actually just returned home and they're more alive now than ever, and they're still present. But not only that, they're able to love us more fully because they've dropped their negative ego. So they're no longer insecure. They're no longer fearful. They're no longer distorted by whatever emotional issues or even physical issues that they may have had, because we know that physical challenges can also impair somebody's ability to love themselves and love others. Because, if you're not feeling well, if you're struggling health-wise or have other challenges, it's going to be difficult to fully love anyone. So when they cross over, they don't have that problem anymore. It's all gone. They're fully healed. Now they're still growing. So it depends on the level of their soul, right? Like where they're at. But they're certainly free of their negative ego. Do they still have an ego? Some spiritual teachers are going to tell you, no, there's no ego. Others will say, yes, we do still have an ego. I would say, based on what I've heard from Spirit and the spiritual teachers that I completely trust, is that it's actually that we do have a sort of ego, but it's not the one that we carry when we're in a body. It's more positively focused. So the negative ego falls away, meaning, again, they're not insecure anymore. They're not overly sensitive. They're not, let's say, Alan's saying to me, coming from a place of lack or feeling less than or feeling somehow not truly in line with who they fully and truly are. That's the problem that comes up in relationships. Someone can't love you if they don't really love themselves. So, how many people do you know that truly love themselves unconditionally? Do you even love yourself unconditionally? Chances are you don't love yourself unconditionally. I work with a lot of people who have an easy time saying, "Oh, I love my partner. I love my family member completely, totally. I love them unconditionally." And yet they can't love themselves. So if you're one of those people, you're not going to be able to experience the full depth of love that your loved ones on the other side have for you. It's just not going to happen because you're not a vibrational match to their deep love. Now, the good news is you can open up to that, but you got to decide right here and right now that I'm going to love myself just as I am, because I promise you, they love you just as you are right now. Even if they struggled to do that when they were in a body, and most of them did. Although Alan did. I mean, he was not, let's just say, he was just dissociated from his emotions. And sadly, a lot of men are like that. And in our society right now, that seems to be a growing problem, that a lot of men are emotionally just stunted and shut down. Young men too. This is like an epidemic where men especially, and I'm not just picking on men, Alan, but although Alan says it's a fair it's a fair tactic because in his work he saw that most relationships, the challenges usually, always exceptions, usually came down to the man, that partner who was not responsive, who was checked out, who was maybe more focused on work or other priorities that they set for themselves, and they weren't open emotionally. They weren't able to share their deepest fears, hopes, dreams, etc. Right? They just were not available emotionally. So he says it's okay. We're not picking on men, but he himself used to say that he'd be out of a job if men got their act together and were happier and healthier in their lives and in their relationships. He had a lot of clients, and they were male and female, but most of his clients were female because women are the ones, generally speaking, who are not reluctant to reach out for help and say, hey, I'm trying to figure this out. I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to struggle anymore. I want to improve my life. I want my relationship to be better. I'm willing to work on myself. Not all women are willing to do that. I grant you that. But a lot of women are. We're wired that way, and it's just our biology, really. So I want you to understand that we're not picking on men, but that is more the case, right? Because in our world, even now, and certainly back in Alan's days, because he was quite older than me, about 15 years older than me. So when he was a young adult, a young man getting started in the world, he was expected to just be tough and not show emotion and keep your feelings locked in, especially because he's British, that's even tougher there. So because of that, he couldn't really express his love in the way that he can now. And so I really want to drive this point home because even mediums don't understand this. Even mediums don't get it, that your loved one, when they cross over, can not only communicate with you through the veil, okay, but they can also broadcast, send you their love in a discernible, visceral, tangible way, even physical way, right? If more people knew this, um, there'd be no stopping these connections from happening. But people don't believe it until it happens to them. And many of the people who are in our our Facebook group that we invite you to join. Let me show it here. In our group, a lot of people who are in that group understand that they're having experiences. This is why many of them join our group to begin with. It's a free group. We're welcome to join. Anyone's welcome to join if you're wanting to develop your connection through the veil with the spirit or your loved ones, whatever. We work with people not only who are trying to continue relationships through the veil, but the people who want to spiritually evolve. Because my work actually for the past 30 plus years was more focused on helping people embody their soul and helping people kind of go through the ascension and raise up their vibration and open up to who they truly are. We just focus that ascension work, let's say, with our people in our academy who are trying to connect through the veil or just develop themselves, as I said, spiritually. So yeah, so join us if you like there. And also, I want I want to take a moment before we continue this discussion to really get you to understand that you can learn a lot about this journey by getting a copy of our book, which, guys, here it is, okay? And the ebook Kindle version is only 99 cents. I'm almost giving it away. It's the closest I can get to giving it away. So nobody has excuse of saying, well, I can't read your book. You go to your country's Amazon, right, site, order the copy, the Kindle version, ebook version. You can get a free Kindle app for your device. You don't have to own a Kindle. If you have Alexa, Alexa will read our book to you. So, that shameless plug out of the way. But we just want to drive that point home that we have so much information for you, and we're doing all we can to help you not only connect through the veil, but raise your vibration to take advantage of living in the time of the ascension. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you found us. And if you're wanting to engage with me, because I have people emailing me all the time, appreciate you sharing all your stories, wanting to connect, and I apologize. I just cannot get back to everybody. I would not have time to help our students and teach and work with clients one-on-one. I just don't. It's just kind of going crazy. And a lot of spiritual teachers will tell you the same thing. They can't, they get their inboxes flooded with hundreds of emails and they can't get back to everyone. If you want to engage with us, join our Facebook group, the Life and Love After Death group. And if you post in there, I'll do my best to answer your question. And there'll be other people there who you will share, experiences with too, because they're on the same journey of growing it spiritually or connecting through the veil. So join our group. That's the easiest way to get connected to me. But anyway, back to why love grows stronger. Okay. They come through with so much love for us. The thing is, the challenge is that many people are shut down emotionally. I know I was. I was. And Alan understood that. And for a long time, in the beginning year or so, he blamed himself because he had been, as I said, rather dissociated, rather disconnected, although he loved me deeply, deeply. And I knew that. I wouldn't have stuck around if I didn't know that to the core of my being. But knowing somebody loves you and being able to feel their love and have it expressed to you in the way that you need is a two different things. So I knew Alan loved me because he had basically given up his life that he established in England when he met me and he was in his mid 50s. He gave all that up, gave up his company, gave up his life. I mean, what man does that on a whim, right? I knew that he loved me, but yet he wasn't able to really be there for me or open up to me, although he was completely faithful. I knew that this man was, in his words, he used to say this, completely besotted by me, which is like intoxicated, right? And I knew that. That's why I just couldn't get it. Like, well, yeah, I know this, but why can't you express that to me? Okay. So I had shut down emotionally, and maybe some of you can relate to that. You know this person loves you, but they're not able to convey their love in a way that really means anything to you, but you're hanging in there. Well, when Alan died, the first thing he came back with that completely shocked me, and I knew I wasn't making it up because I was not expecting this at all. This would have been the last thing I thought I would experience after he died. Okay, I thought, okay, maybe I'll get a message because, he was a medium and I'm a channeler. So fine. I expected a message. I didn't expect what I described in our book as these love blasts, literally like blasts of love. And I'd go, whoa, I could feel this love just like hit my heart and overwhelm me. And then I would cry because I was grieving. This is like for a day after he died, and I'd cry from grief and missing him. And I'd cry and cry and cry. And then when the tears subsided, then another wave of love would come in and it'd go, what? And I heard him say, you need to cry. The more you cry, the more room you will make for my love. So just let the tears flow. Just cry. Just keep crying. And so, of course, I did, and any of you who are new with this journey, and I'm very sorry for your loss. At the same time, especially if this is a partner that you are grieving for, you have the opportunity, if you want to continue that relationship. And the love that they have for you now is off the charts. But you and I have to open up to feel the fullness of that. Okay. And so when I had those first blasts of love come at me from Ellen, and I knew I wasn't making it up because you cannot conjure up this feeling of love. I challenge anybody to do that because if it was possible, then people would just sit around creating love for themselves, right? And then there'd be no problem in the world because everybody feeling all this love. Well, in time, you could do that, but you have to evolve. Most people cannot do that. The average, now this is about 90% of the population cannot do that. Other people can. They're because people who are more positively focused could definitely take themselves into a higher state of love for self and others. Okay, but I wasn't in that space, and probably neither are you. So in my grief, I was feeling all this love, and he said to me, "You have to open up. You shut down because you were so disappointed in me, angry at me." And I wasn't even aware that I was angry at him. I really wasn't because I was so used to this. Being married to somebody for 30 years, you kind of forget, you kind of forget, oh, why did I shut? I didn't even realize I was shut down. And he said, "You shut down because I was shut down. How could you have survived our marriage if you hadn't shut down yourself? You would have just been miserable." And believe me, we didn't have a bad relationship. We got along well. Other people would often comment that we had a good marriage. They just didn't know that it was rather emotionally, stunted. It just wasn't as full and as deep as it could be. But we got along, and I don't think we ever really argued except one time. And even that was an argument. We just got into this heated discussion, and our son freaked out because we never argued before, and our son Taylor, who was only 5 at the time, said, "Oh my god, are you going to get a divorce?" I said, "No, this is how people are with each other." But he'd never seen us that way. If you never saw your parents raise their voice to each other at all, you would think that all hell's breaking loose and maybe they're going to get a divorce. But we got along basically well. But it was comfortable, but it was not passionate. So when he died, I wasn't expecting that there'd be this passion, that there would be this immense love, and that love would start breaking down the walls around my heart. And as in his words, he said, "You have to come to life. You're the one that's dead now. I'm fully alive. I came back to bring you back to life." Okay, and most people in this world are really dead inside. That's what the other side says. And I know many mediums will even tell you this, that the other side says, no, the people in the body are the ones that are dead. We're the ones that are alive on the other side. And that's true because they no longer have fears, insecurities, hangups. Yeah, they're limitless. They don't have any problems, right? You and I are dealing with challenges. We came here for those challenges and we're working through them. But, a lot of people are shut down emotionally. So one of the things, if you want to really experience that love from the other side, whether that's your partner, whether that's a family member, a friend, I don't care who it is, they have more love to give you. Okay. But you have to open up. And as I'm kind of reading the energy of everybody right now, I would say a good 70, Alan's saying to me, 80% of you are somewhat shut down to some degree, some more than others. Okay. What do I mean when I say open up, right? What do I mean by that? It means that you're rather, and this is going to sound strange, but you're rather kind of there's this empty inside, like a spaciousness in your field, because you're not holding any resentment, any fear, any insecurity, any trauma. You are basically open. And what remains is this love, because that's your essence. So the love that you have for yourself and others it's like this beautiful star that is you, that's inside of you. But what's encasing that, and for some of you like a hard shell, and others it's just maybe more thinner, right? But But what's blocking that is those limiting beliefs, those fears, the trauma. And limiting beliefs, for one of them that I want you to start to realize is just limiting belief, is the idea of grief. Because the only reason you're grieving is because you believe that your loved one's gone, right? That they're gone, that they're dead. Or even if you hoping, or even if had connection and maybe you see, okay, I feel like they're not dead, they're on the other side. You still believe, well, okay, they're on the other side, but I can't reach them. Or you might believe, okay, I could reach them and have communication, but it's not going to be the same, right? It's not going to be fulfilling. That's just a belief. That is just a belief. So if you believe that your relationship through the veil cannot match or equal what you had in the physical, that's what you're going to create. And it doesn't have to be that way. My belief, my experience is it can be a more extraordinary relationship, even though they're not here with us in a body. Okay. But you got to shift your whole perspective on life from being 3D focused, materially focused, to being more spiritually focused, spiritually aware, and stepping into the fullness of who you are and letting go of any negative, limiting beliefs you're carrying. And you know what they are by how they make you feel. So the feeling of grief, really, if you think about it, is because you believe something. Every emotion you and I feel, anybody feels, comes from a belief that we're holding, or you wouldn't have that emotion. So if you're feeling joy because you believe it's fill in the blank, right? If you're feeling despair and grief because your loved ones passed, you're holding a belief probably that that's it, they're gone, I'm never going to see them again, I'm never going to know what love is, etc., right? It is gone. I thought that too. And there are many people that we have worked with privately and that are in our academy, Supernatural Love Academy, where we help people work on clearing those limiting beliefs and learn what the afterlife really is about. And most importantly, hold the space for them to connect. And we're going to do that in a minute with you folks too here. That can lead to miracles and can lead to a connection with them through the veil. Is it going to be the same? Of course not. But truly, I am happier. This is going to sound really wild. I am happier now that Alan's died and is on the other side because I didn't have this love before. And he wasn't always available to me like he is now 24/7. I mean, literally 24/7. Like I'll roll over in bed, like wake up and he might say, okay, it's still early. You should go back to sleep or advise me about something, whether I ask for it or not. I mean, I'm closer to him now than I ever was before and feel his love on this whole other level. And when I meet people now, like just regular people, okay, out there in the world, many of them comment to me. They go, I've never known anybody who feels so full of love and joy. And I go, I've never been like this before. You know, people who've known me all my life know me as a very positive person, but not like this. Like this is like up several notches. And I said, yes, I feel this peace. I feel this joy. I feel this, most importantly, I feel this love that is transcendent. That even if I'm having a bad day or some challenge, it just brings me back up. It just keeps lifting me up. I can't stay down for long at all because that love just keeps rising up. Well, it's really Alan because he's always there saying, it's going to be okay. We'll work through this, whatever the challenge is. And he helps me and gives me solutions or encouragement. He could never do that before. And chances are, a lot of your partners couldn't do that fully for you before. And even if they could, and they did, that's great. They can do more in this and even more now. I promise you, because they are fully alive and they have the ability to do that. They're healers, of the first order. Many people are being helped and guided and healed even by loved ones in the spirit world and are completely unaware of it. I have seen it happening more since Alan passed, and he's told me with certain instances. There are people I work with, and I can see that their loved ones are very much involved. And if the world only knew that nobody's here alone, struggling with life on their own, that they're always being helped, the question is, are you getting in your own way? Because some people are doing that. They're getting in their own way because of their limiting beliefs and because they're listening to their conscious mind instead of their higher mind, their higher guidance. And it's only if you follow what your conscious mind is guiding you to do that you're going to get in trouble. Oh, seriously. The only reason people kind of go off the rails and encounter some catastrophe is when they don't listen to their guidance, but everyone's guided, right? So there's this love that's real. And I want to just encourage you, if you have someone across the veil, and it doesn't have to be a partner, it could be, a grandparent, it could be a mother, a child, a father, a dear friend, whoever that is. Everyone is accessible to you. And I want to also address a question that came up from someone who's in our academy, just joined our academy, who's concerned that because she hasn't been able to reach her husband and she's beginning to think that he doesn't want to connect with her. And I said, no, 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 no. That is never the case, okay, unless you don't want to. Alan has said to me, and I've heard my guides have said to me, they're always willing to communicate, okay? If you desire it, that means it's appropriate for you 99% of the time, because why would you want that if it really wasn't what your soul wants for you, right? So the idea that, okay, I'm not getting communication because they don't want to, no, X that off. No, that is never the case. It's usually the case, almost 100% of the time. You are either trying too hard, you have a limiting belief or a fear that maybe you're not aware of, and it's just not happening because you need to process that. Believe it or not, a lot of people have very mixed feelings about connecting to the other side, even when it comes to, let's say, a husband or a wife or partner. They want it very much, and they can also be very afraid. And sometimes they're not even aware that they're afraid. But your fear will block contact every time. Okay, so fear and doubt and having any set or fixed expectation, those create a barrier. Okay, it'll make it difficult, if not in some cases impossible, for them to come through. The other thing I want to really emphasize is spirits on the other side vary greatly in their ability to project their consciousness, their energy through the veil. This is why Alan told me from day 2, I think. He says, I'm going to help those in the spirit world who want to come through, whose partners in a body want to connect. I'm going to help their loved ones to project through the veil. And I heard that and I said, what are you talking about? They really need help? And he said, yes. And I later heard other mediums say the same thing. I mean, I didn't know that. And he said, yes, because they don't all have the ability to do this right away. They have to learn, just like we have to learn. We have to learn to raise our vibration. Okay, that's the main hindrance. If you have fear, limiting beliefs, trauma you haven't processed and all that, insecurities, your negative ego, you gotta, we're working with our students to kind of zero out those limiting beliefs, because you don't need to add anything to yourself. You more need to remove what is in your way. Because when you are kind of empty that way, like empty of those limiting beliefs, guess what? You become fully who you are. You become profoundly intuitive and psychic. And I would say more intuitive than psychic, in the sense that you just live your life knowing what you need to know when you need to know it, and you do what you need to do when it's appropriate to do it. You just find you're living in the flow. And that is what happened to me and can happen to you too, okay? But they need to learn. So I always were telling our students, like, if don't assume that they don't care. Alan says they always care. Like, the reason you're doubting is because we live in a cynical world, and most of you, maybe many of you, have had relationships where somebody said they loved you or cared, and then they demonstrated the opposite, right? Then they were uncaring or mean, or they hurt your feelings and they left you. So of course you wonder, well, maybe my soulmate, my husband, my partner, they said they love me, but they don't really love me, right? I promise you, the only thing that's real is love. So even those people who broke your heart, they still love you on the other side. They just were playing this role in this life. But especially when it comes to partners, that love is eternal. And you know who that person is that's most near and dear to you, that is your soulmate partner, okay? And I promise you that love doesn't change. Alan says it's impossible. He says it's like he could not love me. It would go against being who he is. And the same is true for your partners. Okay. They just can't. It's an intrinsic part of their soul to love and be loved. And once somebody loves you, there is no end to that. It's impossible. You might say, pull back. You're the only one who could control it. Say, well, I don't want you to love me. Okay, then, you get to create your reality, so you're not going to experience their love. But they're going to still love you, even if you told them to get lost. I know that's what Alan says. He says, even if you tell me, because he was afraid I was going to reject him because he had been, in his own words, such a shitty husband. That was the language he used. I did it with my words. He was afraid. He told my friend who's a medium, I'm afraid she's going to reject me because I was so shitty to her. And I understand. So if she wants to be with somebody else, I will still love her. I'll still protect her. I'll still guide her. I'll do everything I promise to, but I'm never going to stop loving her. So that's how their love is. So please let go of any doubt that they don't love you or that they've moved on. That's the other question I get. Well, how do I know that they haven't found somebody else over there? Guys, that is your ego, your insecurity talking. Okay? If you love somebody, that's it. You know that. And I'm not saying that if you find another partner that there's something wrong there, right? Because maybe that's part of your soul's plan, that you're here to find another relationship. There's no judgment of that. Everybody's different. Your loved one on the other side would support you. I know that. And it's your life to live. And this life is so brief anyway. And especially if you're a younger person, when I say young, I mean anybody to me, because I'm going to be 72 next month, anybody to me who's well, for me, under 50, I think is young. So depends how old you are, they know that, well, they have a long life ahead of them, and I want them to not be lonely. So, that's a long time, right? So if you're 30, you could be looking at another 50 years. And so this isn't a journey necessarily for everybody, but if it is for you, you'll know it. And you can certainly, no matter what you choose to do with your life, you can still remain connected to someone that you love across the veil, right? Okay, so I want to just take a moment to have you just, relax a little bit, get relaxed, because we're going to lead you into this meditation. And by the way, after we do this, and if any of you want to go further and you need more help, we do one-on-one sessions. Ellen and I work with people in a variety of ways. You can learn more about it, on our website. Just go to their website and supernaturallove.com. You can see what we offer, but you can work one-on-one. Well, he's saying to me, 2-on-1. He and I with you on one, and help you to refine your connection. All right. So let's get into this because I really want to have enough time to go deep with you. So get comfortable wherever you are. And if you're driving, please turn this off because I don't want you to go off the road because people tend to go into a deep state when Ellen and I work together and guide everyone in a meditation or any exercise. At least in our academy, people tell me that all the time. So all right. So just get yourself relaxed and comfortable wherever you are, right? And just take a deep breath in, breathing in through your nose, exhaling gently out through your mouth. Take another breath in and exhale. I'd like you to set the intention to release any and all stress that you're carrying. Let it all go. We're going to call in your angels to take some of your burdens and your cares from you. So I'd like you to imagine that you're releasing any of your fears, your worries, your cares and concerns. You're just letting it go and letting the angels just transmute and release that which no longer serves you. This includes any energies or emotions you're carrying that belong to other people. Many of you, as I'm reading group energy, are carrying other people's energies. Like you're so involved with other people in your life or concerned about, especially with children, which is understandable. Maybe so concerned about them, trying to help them, and you are depleting your energy. So we want you to let go of that and call back your energy from wherever it is that you left it. As I said, you could have left it with other people. Take another breath in. All right, and set the intention to open your heart as fully and as wide as you can. All it takes is your intention, followed by action, obviously, by you, right? By you relaxing and engaged in what we're leading you through. Okay, so take another breath in and imagine that you can expand your heart even more. You can open it up completely or as fully as you've ever done before. And imagine you're breathing in and out through your heart. Okay? You might even be able to feel on the out breath that your heart grows bigger. There's more room inside. Your heart is more expansive. And some of you I know are like uncomfortable feeling all of your emotions, maybe because of your grief, which is understandable, but you need to feel it all. You need to process everything. Process simply means to feel what you feel without holding back. Okay, take another breath in. Continuing to breathe through your heart. And now we're going to call in your loved ones in the spirit world. If it's a partner or spouse, you might feel their presence, but it could also be other family members. Could be all of them. I'm going to call one of them forward, whoever that is, to broadcast their love to you. So I'd like you to open up to feel their love and receive it as best you can. For some of you, I'm sensing this love coming in waves, or like ripples of energy, ripples of love. For others, it looks like it's light that's flooding you. And some of you might not feel anything at all, but just stay with it, okay? Take a breath in and let go of any inhibitions you're carrying about this, any resistance you're holding about receiving love. Just put it aside right now and let it go. Hopefully forever, or at least for now. Let that love come in. And we're calling in the angels to help you open your heart more, to comfort you and support you so that you know that you're safe, protected, you're always guided, and you're always surrounded and immersed in love. Take a moment to imagine, see, or feel what it would be like to live your life in this state of pure, unconditional love. What would it be like to go through your days just radiating love, feeling love for yourself and others? This is how you live on the other side. This is your natural state of existence. So all we're doing is reminding you of who you really are, how you eternally live on the other side, so that you can tap into that and live that more and more now. And to us, this is our definition of ascension, is living life in this state of pure love. Even when life gets challenging and difficult, that you always come back to this state of love. Because this is your true essence. This is the core of who you always are, will never cease to be. You will always be this love. So why not really anchor into that so that you can more easily connect to that love, and therefore, in doing that, connect to your loved ones across the veil. So take another deep breath in. And we're asking the spirit world to do their best to ramp up this transmission of love for all of us. And all you and I need to do is just be willing to receive, trust, and believe. And that's it. All right. So take a moment to connect with your loved one across the veil or your angel. Understand that spirit communication is often nonverbal. It's not always words. It can be subtle. It can be energetic, right? Where you feel tingles or even just a breeze that seems to pass over you. You may be a direct knowing. Something just comes into your mind. It's very easy for spirit to put thoughts and ideas into our minds and our heads. This is often them trying to help. Or they can give us a vision of something in our mind, in response to a situation we're in. Like, so many times I misplace something and I'll go, where did I put my eyeglasses? And I immediately see in my mind where it is, and I know Alan just showed me. Oh, okay, it's on the dining table. This is how the other side works. So we want to help you now to really anchor that connection to your loved one or your angel. I want to ground it into this world. One way to ground the connections you're making with the other side is to write about it, to journal it, to channel their messages. Why? Because you live in a physical world and you're meant to take physical action. And when you do something as concrete as writing down the experience, right? Like journaling it or writing the message that you got, you are actually helping it manifest in this world. You wouldn't be writing it down if it wasn't, in your view, of value to you, right? You wouldn't chronicle it in a journal if it didn't mean something to you. So by you doing that, you're helping your connection with the other side grow stronger. Whereas if you don't do that, by your inaction, I'm not saying you're doing this on purpose, but by your inaction, you're not really taking it as seriously as if you did chronicle it. Now, you don't have to do that every time, obviously, but now Alan's putting into my head the suggestion. You might want to write your own book, you know, not necessarily publish it because this costs a pretty penny for us to self-publish, but you might want to write your own book because that can completely anchor your relationship and deepen your connection because you've written the messages you received from your loved ones, right? So take another deep breath in. We're going to do some energy work on you to just open up, strengthen your connection as best we can. And I recommend, if you want to, you might want to rewatch this video. Every time you do it, it'll take you to a new level. Every time you watch any of our videos, it'll take you to the next level, up, up. We're always going up. And now, if you want to, you might ask your loved one or your angel if they have a message for you. But remember that communication could be nonverbal. And as we kind of begin to wind down this exercise, I just want to remind you, we've spoken about this before, we just want to remind you again, spirit communication is really simple, right? No fear, no doubt, let go all of that. No set expectation of what's going to happen, because that gives them the greatest leeway to come through, because we're not setting the bar super high. We're just saying, whatever contact I can receive from you, great. I love it. Those three things in place. Then, next thing, call them in, like see them in your mind's eye or say their name. So for me, it'd be, all right, Alan, want to connect with you. They're right there when you call them. Then ask for whatever you want. Maybe I want his insight on something, or his opinion on something, or maybe I just want to say, what's going on? What do you have to say to me today? And after whatever I ask, I'm going to trust whatever happens next. And again, that communication could be nonverbal. It may not be that I get this, this Sermon on the Mount or this blaring message. I could, and I have, but quite often it could be more subtle. And maybe I'm just going to feel this emotion come over me. Again, if I'm open emotionally and I'm balanced. Or I might just know what he's trying to tell me or have some other insight. But whatever it happens after I ask, I'm going to claim that as that's the message or communication. Okay, whatever that is. And for some of you, I would recommend writing it down, maybe journaling it, right? This is what I experienced. You're going to note whatever you see in your mind's eye, whatever you heard, maybe a voice outside of you talking. Usually it's not like that. Could be just a message that came in your head, like you're talking to yourself. You're not talking to yourself, I promise you. If you've asked them to communicate, they're not going to let you talk to yourself. So if you hear a message going in your head, that's them, not you. Okay, because you just asked them. And Alan's like laughing. He goes, "You really think we're going to let you talk to yourself if you just asked us a question?" No. So you're going to believe what you heard. Don't have to tell anybody this. This is just between you and them. Or you might feel something, again, physically, tingles, chills, heat, coolness, whatever. You might feel emotion. You might smell something. You might taste something. Whatever you experience, you're going to assume that that's them. Okay, even if it's really subtle, I want you to claim that that's them. Keep track of it. Keep doing it. Maybe wait till the next day, or maybe wait till hours later, whatever. But keep doing this and understand that imagination is the conduit, the passageway between this world and the next. There are people that don't want you to know this, literally. There are people that are very invested in you not believing and trusting your imagination, because that is the source of your power to connect to God and all that is, and your loved ones on the other side. So, heck, they don't want you to have that access that they're using. So, don't you believe anybody who tells you that you have to let the dead go because life is for the living. Oh, they're living, they're more alive than we are. You're right. Life is for the living, whether you're in a body or not, you're living. So don't believe any medium who tells you that you can't continue a relationship if you want to. And don't doubt ever that your loved one has stopped loving you or that they want you to move on. If you want to move on, they want what you want, but not because they want you to. Okay. If you want to continue, they're all for it as long as it's going to support you and that's what you truly want and that's going to benefit you, right? In some cases, some people have a soul agreement that they've made that they're going to meet somebody else. And if that's you, you will know that. You will meet the new person and you'll feel this love for them. That's fine. But until that day comes, there's no harm in you connecting to someone who loves you in the spirit world and let them guide you, support you, even heal you. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, these are challenging times we're living in. All of us could use a little more help, don't you think? So it's important for us to ask for that help because they understand the law of free will and they cannot intervene unless we ask for help, right? And so it is that Alan and I offer our help to you, especially the people in our academy, because we know that they are really serious and committed about their spiritual and personal growth so that they could connect through the veil. We are there for them 100%. And if you ever have a session with us, especially the Bridge to Heaven session, I want to remind everybody who's had those sessions with us, call on us to help you connect. Alan says a lot of you are not doing that, and we won't step in unless you ask us to help. But those who do ask us for help will always be helped because we're all in this together. And we got to get over this mentality of, oh, I'm supposed to figure this out by myself. If that's really your path, fine, you'll know it. But there's no harm in asking for support and help. What is appropriate will always be given. If it's not appropriate, it won't be. That's just how life is. But there's no harm in saying, hey, I could use a little support right now. I could use a little help. He also wants me to remind everybody that what I said earlier about we're not living alone, that nobody in a body is not being helped, but most people don't know they're being helped. And it's okay, because the other side doesn't expect gratitude. Okay, it's just not. But assistance is always given. So we suggest that you ask for support if you're trying to reach the veil. But okay, more importantly, saying work on yourself, because the other side can only help you to the degree that you have helped yourself, that you have worked on your fears and your issues. That's why we created the Academy, to help people elevate their consciousness, right? Raise their vibration, clear those limiting beliefs, become more spacious internally, so like carrying all this dense, energy and emotion, and they're not heavy. We got to lighten up. Okay, so if that is of interest to you, join our Facebook group, join our academy for sure, because that's where we can work with you even more. We can pull out all the stops with you in that. So that's what we have for you today, and hope that helped. Let us know in the comments, either now, well, we have a live chat open right now, or in the comments below, right? Let us know. If you want more of these guided exercises, let us know too. Okay, so I just read somebody's comment before I'm going to close out. Lisa just said, I think I do believe that through the veil cannot be as fulfilling as in the physical. I need to work on that belief. Yeah, you need to work on that belief, because your beliefs create reality. So if you believe it won't be fulfilling, you're going to manifest that experience. I have believed for years now that because Alan told me, he says, one day you will understand what I mean when I say to you, Pam, that you and I are the lucky ones to have this relationship through the veil. And I know what he means. It's just incredible. It's different, absolutely. And it's helped me grow as a person, as a soul, more than anything I've ever experienced. So this is available to you too. All of this, we're not an anomaly. We certainly are not. What one person can do, others can do. Okay, we're just showing you what's possible. This relationship through the veil can bring you a level of joy and love and peace that you've been searching for all your life. And chances are, even your relationship, even if it was a good one, never delivered that. Okay, so until next time, keep connecting, keep believing, and keep letting go of your fears, your limiting beliefs, because that's the only thing you need to do to raise your vibration. That's the only thing that impacts your vibration, is what you believe. So choose your beliefs carefully. Choose the ones that support what you desire. You're the creator of your world, of your reality, of your life. Nobody else, just you. Even your loved one can't do that for you. They can support you, just like we're supporting you, right? Can kind of lift you up, but you got to do the work to keep yourself up there, because we can't jump in your head and think your thoughts. Neither can your loved one. Although I promise you, they kind of try, because Alan whispers in my ear, trying to give me affirmations like, you can do this, all going to work out. And chances are your loved one's doing that too. But in the end, you and I also got to do the inner work. So figure out your plan and stick to it. This is journey of a lifetime. And you will one day, if you stick with us, you realize, yeah, you know what, Pam? We are the lucky ones. We are the lucky ones. All right. Much love to all of you. Until next time. All right. Take care.